The following is a Dowling Catholic Sports presentation on Iowa Catholic Radio. Our coverage of Dowling Catholic High School sports is underwritten by Ashworth Vision Clinic, Construction Professionals, Dental Associates, the Catholic Tuition Organization, Mercy One, and Skeffington's Formal Wear. Thank you for supporting Dowling Catholic Sports on Iowa Catholic Radio.
And a very pleasant good evening and welcome to the Hoover High School gym as we get set for boys basketball tonight, non-conference game, Dowling and Hoover. And we'll be tipping off here about 6:15 here at the Hoover gym alongside Jimmy Cataldo, Mark Hamadale. Coach, thanks for joining us. I had some all-stars last week while you were away on your job training that you're going through. First of all, I got to thank Stevie Sarcone, whose team, by the way, just played before us, the Dowling sophomore team, a winner over Hoover, and Mike Swain for sitting in for you. And they did an outstanding job, and that bar has really been set now that you're back.
You know, the great thing about, the radio and the internet and all these apps is that you can sit there and listen to these games, hundreds of miles away. And so I got a chance to listen in. I thought Stevie did a heck of a job, other than not bringing blizzards and, really, start talking about what he does for a living.
How does that affect you?
Well, I'm just trying to help, a young entrepreneur.
Not helping him out at all.
But, Mike Swain, I've known Mike for ages, and he is such a just a good advocate and ambassador for basketball and the knowledge he brings. And he could be at any coaching job that really opens up. And to have him and his analysis on the radio is a really great thing. And so it was good to hear him as well.
Yeah, he didn't fare so well. Stevie won. Dowling won at Ankeny, which a split in the regular season. But Southeast Polk, a big win over Dowling on Friday night in the boys contest. That was kind of shocking. 31-point win for Southeast Polk. They had the Maroons number. And I think Coach Swain went to exit stage left after that game because, my goodness, what a performance by Alan Jenkins and the Southeast Polk boys.
Well, I actually got to see the game. I got home early enough to be able to attend the game, talk to Mike after the game, and we both agreed that, Southeast Polk has to be one of those hotter teams in Central Iowa right now. They hit about everything they threw up at the beginning of the game. Kind of, got a little colder as the game went on. But you look at Dowling and just defensively and understanding some of the team aspect of being able to help defense, backside defense, and then attacking the rim. A lot of things did not really, help Dowling really push the envelope in that game. But you saw, Southeast Polk play a heck of a game and a well-controlled team atmosphere. But you got to hand it to those guys, and they're just a really hot team right now.
Yeah, they certainly are, and congratulations to them. Well, as you know, Jimmy, tonight, it's a Monday night, and this is the time of the season where every team in the Central Iowa Metro League basically has a week off because of the I don't know if it's a quirk in the schedule or whatnot, but this is Dowling's week, and you can schedule games, but more than likely you're going to play a team that plays on Tuesday or Friday, and you got to play that team if they want to go back-to-back, and Hoover's going to do that because they have a game tomorrow night. So that is what's happening tonight. The Dowling boys playing tonight, and they are not in action until next Tuesday. That's 8 days later when we travel to Waukee Northwest. The Dowling girls have the week off. They play Saturday at Sioux City East at 1:30, and Sioux City East ranked 10th in Class 5A. So the Dowling girls get on that charter bus on Saturday morning. So it's basically a week off. So you're going to have 8 days away from me and the program until we reunite up at Waukee Northwest, which we've never been inside.
Sometimes I think that's a good thing, just to get away. But we really train these athletes, and they become creatures of habits. They understand, hey, I'm training for a game on Tuesdays and Fridays, or in football, we really set things up to play on Friday so that when we get to be our best, it's Friday night. In basketball, it's Tuesday or Friday. So now you're transitioning into a Monday night game, which is a very atypical night to play, and hopefully the Maroons come out and bring their best against a very a formidable opponent in Hoover. Hoover's a perennial powerhouse in the Des Moines Public Schools, and they have been for the past decade or so. And Courtney Henderson's a big reason for that. The kids he gets out here to play, but it's certainly the way they play, and they got a heck of an athlete in Chase Henderson that is really going to light things up here soon.
Yeah, he's a 1,000-point scorer, as is his running mate Elijah Voss. So two starters for Hoover who are seniors, been starting since they were freshmen. And I think that's the last time we were in this building, is Dowling got the win here quite a while ago when the Maroons played here back in 2020, 42-27, Dowling beat Hoover. I think we were going through COVID right after that. A couple months later is when COVID started. So I remember being here for the game, and the Maroons took care of business that night, but that's as long as it's been. Let's take a look at the schedule tonight, Jimmy. One thing, there's no games on CISN this week. They're covering the first ever Girls State Wrestling Tournament in Iowa City. Congratulations to Pete Tarpey and the CISN crew. They got that assignment, and they're in Iowa City all this week, so there's no CISN basketball or wrestling on the tube other than the Girls State Wrestling Tournament. Doubleheaders tonight. One that started at 4:30, Joaquin Northwest traveling to Sioux City West. The reason that game was postponed from Saturday, made up today. So the boys' game was at 4:30. The girls' game will be right about now up in Sioux City. Urbandale is at Fort Dodge in a girl-boy doubleheader. Girls' only game tonight, Southeast Polk is at Des Moines Lincoln. They tip off at 6 o'clock. The boys' only game has Iowa City Liberty at Southeast Polk. They'll tip off here, as we will, at 6:15. Another boys-only game, Ankeny Centennial at Cedar Rapids Prairie. They'll tip at 7:30. And a girls-only game tonight in Class 4A, number 9 Pella taking on number 15 out of Class 5A, Des Moines North. That's a 7:45 tip at Des Moines North. Tomorrow night doubleheaders, Fort Dodge at Des Moines North. East is at Waukee. And girls-only game has Valley at Cedar Rapids Prairie tomorrow night. And that's the slate because it's the kind of the quirk in the schedule. And wouldn't call it a dead week, but it's not back to what you were saying. Getting into a routine. Football, you build towards Friday. That's your routine. Then on game day, it is a routine. We don't have that this week with high school basketball, at least in Central Iowa in Class 4A.
Well, you don't. And so, but everybody's trying to get all these games in and trying to get their records built up. So now when it becomes playoff pairing time, then that you have everything into the chest that you want to be evaluated on, and hopefully you get a great seed. And the Maroons have a big game here. They're fighting for that 2-3 seed right now, and it really could come down to, how they play in the next few weeks. And there's some teams, I think, as a coach, hey, if we play them, we play them. But I certainly would like to avoid some teams that are out there right now. We're playing very, very hot, and hope to goodness that I can get into a bracket where maybe I can make some noise. And this Maroon team, on nights, they can be good enough to make some noise.
Yeah, the brackets in Class 4A boys, they come out, I think it's the 13th of February, the day before Valentine's Day, and I think they'll have them all situated the week before. So it's important. This is a very big week for the Dowling boys and for Hoover, because Hoover's in Class 3A, Dowling's in 4A. And Courtney Henderson told me this when I didn't realize the switch. Dallas Center Grimes, who was in 3A, is now in 4A this year. And Hoover dropped from 4A to 3A, so that was kind of the switch with the enrollment in that. But let's take a look at the rankings that came out, and they're going to use this as a guide this year. The Iowa High School Athletic Association is doing the rankings. Cedar Rapids Kennedy, the number 1 team, they're undefeated at 14-0, ranked number 1, followed by Waukee at number 2. Waukee Northwest is 3rd, and Valley at number 4, with Sioux City East undefeated at number 5. And 6 through 10 is Indianola, Waterloo West. Ankeny Centennial falls to number 8. Norwalk, new in the top 10 this week, at number 9, and Dubuque Senior at number 10. Norwalk's a team that Dowling will end the regular season with, and the Warriors make their presence known in Class 4A and in the top 10 this week.
And Norwalk's a community that is definitely growing, and they're getting hot at the right time in the evening. They just knocked off Indianola, which before had been unbeaten, but Norwalk, who's a Dowling opponent here in the next few weeks, it just does not get any easier for these kids. And you love it as a coach, but you want games in there that you get build some confidence, and that's what I think these kids need so badly, is some confidence.
We're going to take a 1-minute break. We're on the pregame show here at Hoover High School. First time we've been back here in about 3 years. It'll be a Dowling and Hoover boys only contest this week. The Dowling girls do not play until Saturday in Sioux City, and we'll resume girl boy doubleheaders next week on Tuesday and Friday. But tonight it's Dowling at Hoover boys contest, and we're going to tip off here in about 10 minutes. Mark Amadale, Jimmy Cataldo, and we want to thank Jennifer Phelps, our studio producer. We'll take our break and come back with more pregame. We'll dive into the matchups between Dowling and Hoover when we return here to the Hoover Gym on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Mondays at 9 a.m., Man Up with Joe Stopulos on Iowa Catholic Radio, iowacatholicradio.com, and on demand on the Iowa Catholic Radio app, connecting listeners with Christ.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Ashworth Vision Clinic. Complete eye exams, contact lenses, glasses, glaucoma testing, and urgent eye issues. 515-440-4610. AshworthVision.com.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Construction Professionals. Construction Professionals does remodeling and new construction. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. CPCustomHomes.com. Thank you, Construction Professionals, for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio.
Iowa Catholic Radio, connecting listeners to Christ every day with people like you.
Hi, this is Tom Price from EWTN's Call to Communion. Thanks so much for listening to Iowa Catholic Radio.
And welcome back to the Hoover Gym here on Des Moines' northwest side. Mark Amadale, Jimmy Cataldo, as we get set for Dowling and Hoover in the boys contest. Teams are on the floor warming up. Have introductions here in about 8 minutes. And Jimmy, let's go through our pregame. We talked a little in generalities about some of the things going on with the rankings, the records. The Huskies come in. They're 9-5. They're in the Iowa Alliance, which is the group that split from the CIML. And they're with the 5 Des Moines schools, along with the Tumwa, Marshalltown, Ames, Fort Dodge, Mason City, and East Waterloo. That is the 5 teams, or the 11-team conference. And Huskies at the top of that conference right now. They're 9-5 overall. And Dowling coming in with a record of 7-8. And Maroons having their 3-game winning streak snapped, as you witnessed last Friday night. So that's kind of the tail of the tape. The Huskies come in, and they've lost 3 of their last 5 games, including their last 2 in a row. And they were also the victim of Southeast Polk last Thursday night, the night before Dowling lost to Southeast Polk. So the Rams got 2 of their 4 wins over Hoover and Dowling.
Well, they've been battle tested throughout the year. As you mentioned, they're 9-5 overall, 5-1 in the Alliance Conference, just getting beat by Des Moines Lincoln. But they have gone through teams like Cedar Rapids Kennedy, who's certainly who's listed number 1 right now. They played Cedar Falls, Southeast Polk, and Johnston. Have lost all 4 of these teams. But I think, the common denominator of these is that they have played against formidable opponents. And, Dowling is not a team that's going to intimidate them tonight.
No, not at all. And Dowling and Hoover haven't played, as I mentioned, about 3 years. But, hey, the Huskies come in. They've got 2 1,000-point scorers in their backcourt, and Elijah Voss and Chase Henderson. Chase is the coach's son. Courtney, you mentioned earlier. Courtney Henderson, 14 years here at Des Moines Hoover, and he was a head coach at West Waterloo. He played at East Waterloo, but he took the job after college at West Waterloo and was there 3 years, and Hoover hired him after the one and only Charles Zanders went to the college profession for a while. So Courtney's always has tremendous team. The thing that's bothering him this year, the team won't defend. He said, Mark, we're giving up an average of 58 points a game. Normally, Jimmy, his teams give up 35 to 40 points a game. So I said, must be the shot clock. He says, no, we just can't defend. So that has been a problem. When they put that together, they're going to be very formidable as they move down to Class 3A.
That's what I love about a coach who has, a tenure of Courtney Henderson to identify that defense is where you win ball games. And so he's seeing out front that, hey, we're not defending well. And I would say the same thing with the Maroons, is that they're not defending as well, in some of these other games. So tonight you get Chase Henderson, who's an elite player in his class. And the Maroons have struggled against some athletic guards.
Mm-hmm.
Stinson, as we've seen in the past, Omaha Blue, Sanford, McCaffrey, some elite players in the state of Iowa the Maroons have struggled, and so many other teams have struggled against. But yet they have not done a great job slowing those guys down. So Chase Henderson and Elijah Voss, as you mentioned, are going to be 2 dynamic duos who's going to have to really catch the eye for the Dowling defense.
And for Dowling, it's a matter of who's going to step up, not only defensively, as you mentioned, and saw Friday night against Southeast Polk, but offensively. I don't think I've seen, with a Davis Sheck, a Joey Coppola, Drew Marr, Riddick Met, and Ryan Kleppe, all 5 of those guys, Jimmy, have scored in double figures, but none of them have done it together, and that is what Dowling's trying to put together. It's been a Drew Marr getting 20-some points in the first quarter, and then the rest of the team kind of chime in, and that got them off to a great start. But it's not been the balanced scoring that you want to see, and I think that's what Dowling and head coach Clay Thielkin is looking for, is on the offensive production, but also the defensive tenacity. And I know they get Nyanji back tonight. He wasn't available Friday night due to illness, but he's back tonight. But he is really their post presence, and he comes off the bench when need be.
You bring up a great point that you really don't have that star player that the Maroons should be running their offense through, but it's a buy-in that a lot of these kids just got to have, is that we have 5 kids who can put the ball in the basket on the court. So let's work our offense, look for good passes, cut around some of these movements, find some picks, but attack the basket. And hey, if Davis Sheck is hot tonight, that's a great thing for the team. If Drew Marr becomes hot tonight, it's a great thing for the team. Joey Coppola has really shown that he can shoot the ball. That's great for the team. Ryan Kleppe, as you mentioned, was red hot against Ankeny, but you really just haven't seen much of that throughout the season about Ryan. But all in all, that is a great thing if you get 5 guys to buy into well-balanced offense, moving the ball, and distributing for the open pass, or for the open shot.
So both teams looking for pieces of the puzzle that is not complete. And as Coach Henderson and I discussed, I said, Coach, that's why you play 21 regular season games. You get them all ready for the 22nd game, which is first round or semifinals of sub-state, depending if you get the bye. And I think that's what Dowling and Hoover are searching for tonight. Let's go to the starting lineups. I know we've got a few minutes before they're going to announce them here. I know, Jimmy, you've got some of the keys to the game that you'll come up with. But first of all, for Dowling Catholic, the Maroons are on the road tonight. They're wearing their dark road uniforms, and the Maroons' record is 7-8. They're coached by Clay Thielking in his second year, 16 wins, 23 losses. He's assisted by Jimmy Nahas, Zach Nicholson, and Kevin O'Hare, who, by the way, Coach O'Hare will be our halftime guest. Talk about the freshman boys basketball team tonight at halftime. Dowling comes in averaging just over 51 points on offense, but they give up 59 points on defense. And they'll start this lineup at one guard, Davis Sheck, 5'11 senior, averaging just under 10 points, leads the team with 21 steals. He'll wear number 3. The second guard, the point guard, is Joey Coppola, 5'11 junior, averaging just under 11 points. He and Drew Morrow lead the team with 25 made three-pointers. He'll wear number 4. And the third guard is Drew Morrow, 6'1 senior, averaging 10.5 points. And he does lead the team with Joey Coppola with 25 made threes. Morrow will wear number 5. At one forward is Ryan Kleppe, 6'3 junior, averaging 5.5 points. He'll wear number 12. And the second forward is Riddick Metten, a 6'4 junior, averaging 5.5 points, but leads the team in rebounds with 4.5, assists with 2.1, and 11 blocks. Metten wore number 21. So it'll be Sheck, Coppola, Morrow, the 3 guards for Dowling, with Kleppe and Metten. Off the bench, we'll see my broadcast partner's son, Dante Cataldo, a 6'1 junior, along with Jack Odie, a 6'3 senior, Carlin Clark, a 6'3 senior, and Andrew Nyanji, now available tonight, a 6'5 senior, off the bench for the Maroons. And again, Dowling brings a 7-8 record into tonight's contest. And for the home team on the scoreboard, that'll be the Hoover Huskies under head coach Courtney Henderson in his 14th year, 227 wins, 70 losses in his 14 years here at Hoover. Assisted by Justin Rudding, Michael Dean, and Michael Allen. And the Huskies come in averaging 60 points on offense, give up 58 points on defense. They'll start this lineup. At one guard, Chase Henderson, a 6'1 senior, averaging 21.5 points, 5.5 assists, leads the team with 25 steals. Chase wore number 2, and he's going to the University of Montana, Big Sky country, to play college basketball next year. The other guard is Abe Voss, 6'3 sophomore, averaging 6 points. He'll wear number 3. And the third guard is Malachi Johnson-Basie, a 6'3 senior, averaging 7.5 points, leads the team in field goal percentage with 48%. He'll wear number 11. At forward, it'll be the other Voss, Elijah Voss, the senior, at 6'4 senior, team leader in three-pointers made with 36. He's headed to Mid-American Nazarene, the Pioneers, down in the NAIA level, averaging 15 points, 8.5 rebounds, and leads the team with 16 blocks. Voss will wear number 1. And the other forward is Emmanuel Fonde, a 6'4 senior, averaging 6.5 points, and Fonde will wear number 33. So it'll be Henderson, Abe Voss, Johnson-Basie, along with Elijah Voss and Emmanuel Fonde. Off the bench for Hoover, we'll see Ramir Talbert, a 5'9 senior, and Javel Johnson, a 6'4 senior, for the Huskies, who bring a 9-5 record into the contest. So, Jimmy, that's the tail of the tape. What are some of your keys to this contest, Dowling and Hoover?
Well, I think the Maroons got to get out and play some free-flowing basketball, get some confidence running with Hoover as much as you can. Look for great shots. Right now, the Maroons are ranked 3rd in Class 4A in three-point field goal attempts, and they're just not making a whole lot of them. So avoid the three-point shots as open as they are. Take the ball to the basket. If you're Hoover, I think you have to play man-to-man, play great man-to-man against Dowling, force them into three-point shots. If you don't feel comfortable with that, pull back into a zone, and I think that could be something to take to Dowling later in the game.
All right, we got pregame ceremonies going on here at the Hoover Gym. Early start, 6:15. I think it was listed as 6:30, but it's an early start. The sophomore game got over with, and we'll come back with the tip-off. Dowling and Hoover here at the Hoover Gym. Mark Amadale and Jimmy Cataldo. But first, we'll have a word from Dr. Dan Ryan, the president of Dowling Catholic High School, and our pregame prayer with Father Reed Flood. Alongside Jimmy Cataldo, I'm Mark Amadale. Jennifer Phelps is our studio producer, and we'll be back with the tip-off from the Hoover Gym. It's Dowling and Hoover boys basketball on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Hi, this is Dr. Dan Ryan, president of Dowling Catholic High School, and welcome to another season of exciting Dowling High School basketball. We are proud to be partners with Iowa Catholic Radio, not only broadcasting basketball, but also being partners in preparing Christ-centered leaders for life. Go Maroons!
Hello, my name is Father Reed Flood. Let us pray together for the coaches, players, and trainers for this athletic competition this evening. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Heavenly Father, we thank you for all your gifts. We ask that you bless all those involved in this athletic competition this evening. We ask that you keep them safe, and that they show good sportsmanship. We ask this through Christ our Lord. Amen. Saint Sebastian, pray for us. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Join the Iowa Catholic Radio family for the celebration of Holy Mass at our Chapel of St. Gabriel the Archangel on the first Friday of every month at 11:30 a.m. The chapel is located at our network studios, 1355 50th Street, Suite 500 in West Des Moines.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Dental Associates, addressing your smile needs and dreams. 515-225-6742. Des Moines-DentalAssociates.com. Thank you, Dental Associates, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio. Support for Iowa Catholic Radio comes from Mercy One, your expert circle of personalized care for all your health needs. With more care locations than anyone, your best life is their one purpose. Find your doctor at mercyone.org.
Iowa Catholic Radio, connecting listeners to Christ every day with people like you.
Hi, this is Bruce Kalashek with St. Francis of Assisi Parish in West Des Moines. Thanks for listening to Iowa Catholic Radio.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Skeffington's Formal Wear, in business since 1951, with locations in Des Moines, West Des Moines, Coralville, and Ankeny. Skeffington's Formal Wear, fitting you for life celebrations. Online at skeffingtons.com.
Dowling Catholic! Dowling Catholic! Yeah!
And welcome back to the Hoover Gym, alongside Jimmy Cataldo, Mark Amadale, as we get set for high school boys basketball. Hard to believe this is non-conference now. Hoover and Dowling were always part of that Metro Conference back in the day. Back in the day, the Eurostep was not legal. Back in the day that I went through school, but now they're in separate conferences. The Iowa Alliance versus the CIML tonight, non-division basketball. Jimmy.
Well, you look at Hoover, and Hoover was a pinnacle school in basketball. If I look at their state championship 2006, 2008, I remember those days where they were just dynamic. And they got a heck of a team now. You're going to see some great things in Chase Henderson, Elijah Voss, and see what the Maroons can do. I see them going man-to-man to begin with and see if they can slow them down.
All right, Hoover with the basketball. They dump it inside to Emmanuel Fonde. His shot up, rolls off the rim, no good. Got a nice look in the left block. Well defended by the Maroons, and Dowling comes away with the rebound. Maroons in their road maroon uniforms with black trim and gray numbers, and I got a whistle and a foul by Chase Henderson. He tried to fight through the screen, and he commits the first foul of the ball game. Chase and Elijah Voss, two 1,000-point scorers, and Coach Courtney Henderson doesn't want to see his son or the Voss kid on the bench much, but fighting through a screen there, Jimmy.
You see Chase looking over to his father and say, I'll be good. I'm not going to get another foul, but that's something you got to look for. You get two fouls early.
Here's Metten underneath. His shot no good. He's battling Emmanuel Fonde, so that seems to be the matchup early. Fonde took it to Metten, and now it's the other way around. Hoover with the ball. Here's Henderson with it. And who's on Chase? Capola's on Chase to start the game here, Jimmy. Dowling stays man-to-man.
Joey's played a lot of the AAU circuits, played formidable opponents just like Chase Henderson, and so he's pretty used to a guy like this.
Henderson forces the issue, gets in the lane, the shot up, no good. And now here's Capola for three, no good. Offensive rebound, Metten. Riddick in the lane, turn, shot off the glass, good. Right around Emmanuel Fonde. And Dowling now with the lead early, 2-0.
Two great things. Riddick Metten was right there for the offensive rebound, but he kept the ball there because he had an opening, worked a little movement, and converted on the two.
Now here is Elijah Voss with it, wearing number 1. It's Voss, Henderson, and Voss. Abe and Elijah, they're brothers. Elijah, the senior, Abe, the sophomore. They work underneath the Fonde. His shot partially blocked by Metten, and a whistle and a backcourt foul on Fonde. So he picks up the first foul. Emmanuel Fonde, a 6'4" senior. It's quite the matchup. He's averaging 6.5 points, but he picks up the second Hoover foul.
Two things that you see in some of the stat lines that Hoover has built. They're not a very good rebounding team, and they're a poor three-point shooting team. So some things that Dowling can really focus on is getting the offensive and defensive rebounds, but forcing them to a three-point shot.
Now here's Drew Morrow, finds the lane. His shot no good. Offensive rebound, Kleppe, but he loses it to Elijah Voss, and Hoover comes away with it. Dowling 2, Hoover nothing. Here early from the Hoover Gym on a Monday night. You joined us late. The Dowling teams have most of the week off. Dowling boys play 8 days from now at Waukee Northwest in a girl-boy doubleheader. The Dowling girls have the week off, and they will play at Sioux City East on Saturday afternoon at 1:30. Here is Dowling with the ball on the offensive end, 25 in the shot clock. Dribble driving is met and can't get off a shot. Now gets to Scheck. Underneath, he tries to pass to Kleppe, and it's stolen away. Stolen away by Hoover, and the layup good by Chase Henderson, who dribble drives and doesn't waste any time not getting in the offense. He just takes it to the hole.
Tough to catch him down the court, but nice look by Riddick on the offense. Just didn't convert.
Now Dowling with a diagonal pass, and they get it down to Riddick Metten. His shot up and good. He threw it right over Emmanuel Fonde.
I think that's what Courtney Henderson talks about, struggling defense. It was a three-quarter court pass, went over everybody to an open Riddick Metten on the baseline, converting the two.
Now Malachi Johnson-Bassey with the pass inside. It's poked away by Dowling. Good hustle that time by Kleppe. It'll be Hoover basketball with 24 on the shot clock. Huskies will dump the ball in the backcourt. Our officials tonight, Johnny Getting, Tyler Weldendorf, and Dave Rittman, a veteran group. Underneath, Fonde can't get off the shot. Gets it out to Voss, and he nearly lost it out of bounds. Very light attended crowd tonight here on a Monday night. Here's Voss for three, good from the top of the key. Elijah Voss going to play Mid-American Nazarene and NAI basketball next year, and he hits a three from the top of the key, and the Huskies now lead it 5-4. Now back comes Dowling, three-pointer up and good by Kleppe on the left baseline, and Dowling retakes the lead. So Hoover had it briefly, and now Dowling got it back. 7-5 Maroons. 4:20 left to go. First quarter from the Hoover Gym. Now a backdoor cut by Fonde. Reverse layup good. Fonde with his first basket. Tied at 7.
Right now, Fonde is having a lot of at will things at the lower block. The Maroons are not finding help defense on Fonde, and right now he's having everything he wants at the lower block.
Both teams stay man-to-man. Now Dowling with the ball. 20 on the shot clock. Here's Kleppe with it. Looks inside from the top of the key. Now to Metten. Now to Drew Morrow for three. Top of the key. In and out, no good. And a rebound out to Emmanuel Fonde. He gets it to Chase Henderson, the point guard for the Huskies. Chase down the left side. His shot up and good. He went right around Metten for the score.
Such an athletic player he is. And the Maroons have struggled, as I mentioned in the pregame, have struggled with athletic guards like Chase Henderson. So it'll be interesting to see how they can slow him down a little bit throughout this game.
Here's Drew Morrow. Malachi Johnson-Bassey has Morrow tonight. Now over to Metten. Spins in the lane. Over Fonde. His shot up and rolls off the rim. No good. And rebound Malachi Johnson-Bassey. 9-7 Hoover. Now a long three. Up and no good in transition by Chase Henderson. Offensive rebound. Put back up and good by Abe Voss, the younger brother of Elijah, and he scores.
Find your blockout man, and the Maroons did not get to the weak side. Gave up the weak side rebound, and then giving up the 2-point basket could be frustrating.
Hoover by 4. Now Scheck takes the ball down the lane. His shot is no good. The ball rebounded by Hoover. Outlet pass poked away by Kleppe. He poked it off Elijah Voss. To be Dowling basketball in their front court as substitutions now for the Maroons. Their first wave comes in as we see Colin Clark and Andrew Nyanji check in for the Maroons.
Colin's been such a good defensive player for the Maroons. It'd be interesting to see who he lines up with if he does take Chase Henderson. But right now, probably keep with Coppola because he's a little bit quicker than Colin.
Here's Coppola coming off a ball screen by Nyanji. Shoots and scores from the free throw line. Joey Coppola with his first 2 points. Riddick Metten leading the way with 4 points tonight for Dowling. Ryan Kleppe with a 3-pointer and Coppola with a 2-pointer. 11-9 Hoover. Huskies led in scoring by Chase Henderson with 4 points. Elijah Voss with 3. Now here's Elijah Voss in the lane. Shot up and good. Voss attacks the glass and scores. He's got 5 points. And it's 13-9 Hoover in the first quarter. 2:10 left to go. Mark Amadale, Jimmy Cataldo. Our final broadcast for 8 days while the Dowling teams have a break in the schedule. And we'll come back with doubleheader basketball next week. Whistle and a foul on Voss, I believe. That's Elijah Voss, the senior. That'll be team foul number 3 on the Huskies. Dowling yet to commit a foul here in the first quarter. Moves inbound the ball to Nyanji. Out to Marr. They set up a 3 for him. Top of the key, good. He rolls around and falls through. Drew Marr with his 26th made 3 of the year.
Great setup play, inbound play, getting a double pick, which allowed Marr to set up top of the key and knocks down his first shot. And we know Drew is a very confident type shooter. If he gets some confidence early, watch out.
Confidence and being streaky, and you want to be streaky good. And Drew has started out that way. 13-12, Hoover by 1. Long 3 up and good. Chase Henderson gets the roll. He's got 7 first quarter points. And it's 16-12 Hoover. Now Dowling in the lane. They lose the ball. Taken away by Elijah Voss, and he'll dribble to half court and hand it off to Chase Henderson. Dowling stays man-to-man on their end as Hoover goes left to right towards the east basket here. And 3-pointer by Voss, up and good. That's Elijah Voss. He's got 8 points.
He's been an impressive player just early in this game. 6'4", being able to shoot well outside the three-point line and then being able to take the ball to the basket. 2 3-pointers right now for Voss.
Elijah Voss with 8 points and Chase Henderson with 7. Both 1,000 career point scorers for the Hoover Huskies. Here's Colin Clark. It's underneath to Nyanji. Spins in the lane. Shot up the left hand. Good. Andrew Nyanji shoots and scores. That's a nice post move in the lane.
Great post move, but great pass by Colin Clark, finding him at coming around the backside block. A great job by Andrew Nyanji, who we did not see in the last game.
About a 4-second differential on the shot clock. Hoover with a shot by Henderson on the baseline. No good. Rebound Dowling with 23 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Shot clock turned off. Hoover by 5, 19-14. In this boys only contest tonight as Dowling out of the Central Iowa Metro League and Hoover out of the Iowa Alliance Conference. Now here is Kleppe with the ball. Works the lane. Puts up a shot. Hits the deck. It's no good. Saved from going out of bounds by Voss. And we've come to the end of the first quarter from the Hoover gym with the score. Hoover 19, Dowling Catholic 14 alongside Jimmy Cataldo. This is Mark Amadale. We'll return to the Hoover gym with the second quarter here on Iowa Catholic Radio.
This is a Young Catholic Minute. Why do I have to vote in a certain way? Hey neighbor, what happened here? Oh, that candidate stopped by, stole my stuff, burned my house to the ground, kidnapped my children, and poisoned my water supply. That's horrible. Yeah, but his economic policy's great. As Catholics, we realize that some issues are just more important than others. So even if a candidate is great in one area, if they have even one of the really important issues wrong, there's no way we can vote for them. I mean, even if Hitler were really pro-environment, the fact that his legislation killed millions of people means he's not a good candidate. In the same way, someone who supports the killing of unborn children, euthanasia, or homosexual marriage is someone who doesn't understand the true dignity of the human person. And we can't vote for them, no matter how many jobs they'll create or whales they'll save. For more Young Catholic Minutes, go to youtube.com/youngcatholic.
Welcome back to the Hoover gym. Mark Amadale alongside Jimmy Cataldo. We're underway here in the second quarter with Hoover leading Dowling 19-14. Dowling with the ball first. They have a ISO play for Drew Marr in the lane. He shoots and scores with the left hand there, Jimmy.
That's one of the rarities that we've been seeing is the Dowling Maroons attacking the basket. Drew does a tremendous job using some of his quickness with the turnaround jump shot. Hits it from within 2. Great start for the second quarter by Drew.
Now back cut by Hoover, and that was Chase Henderson, but he ran past the pass of Abe Voss, but it was tipped out of bounds by Dowling. Hoover will have it with 19 on the shot clock. Hoover going left to right. They're wearing their home white uniforms with the green trim. Dowling going right to left towards the west basket here as Voss now has hit his 10th point. And now Dowling for three up and good. And is that Drew Morrow?
Drew Morrow.
Oh, here we go.
Catch and shoot. And Drew's been well with his feet set, square to the basket.
That was on the right side of the wing. As Dowling goes right to left. Now this is Abe Voss in the lane, turns and shoots. His shot too strong, no good. Rebound, Drew Morrow. Drew dribbled in the front court. 21-19, Hoover leading Dowling. The Maroons had a 2-point lead briefly in the first quarter. Huskies' largest lead has been 4. Here's Coppola with it on the right side. Little teardrop shot up and good. And I think he was trying to set up a little two-man game, but he took the shot anyway, and Joey Coppola with his 4th point.
Great job. I mean, once again, creating baskets inside the paint. The Maroons have been so strong when they get points in the paint. And if they can continue to do that, good things tend to happen.
Dante Cataldo into the Dowling lineup as Andrew Nyanji checks out. And now a corner three up and good. That's Abe Voss. My goodness, that's his 5th point. And I'll tell you what, between the Vosses, that's 15 of Hoover's 24 points right there, 24-21 Huskies.
Good lineage. Voss is a sophomore, Abe Voss sophomore, and his brother Elijah is exiting senior.
Dante Cataldo into the Dowling lineup, found the timeout, and now in the lane, a shot up and off the rim, no good by Drew Morrow. Just left it on that plate on the back of the rim, kind of laid there. Rebound Hoover. There's Chase Henderson with it. Can't get off the shot. Now he's guarded by Cataldo. Fakes the three. Now we'll take the three, right wing. Good. Nothing but the bottom of the net for Chase Henderson. And he's got 10 points. So between Elijah Voss and Chase Henderson, there's 20 of Hoover's 27 points. And a timeout on the floor will keep it here. 27-21. Hoover leads Dowling with 5:36 to go here in the second quarter from the Hoover gym. Mark Amadale, Jimmy Cataldo. Jimmy, you got to look at some of the numbers from the first quarter.
Some of the first quarter numbers here for the Maroons went 4 of 9 from the field, 2 of 5 from the three-point line, 6 total rebounds and 2 turnovers for Hoover. 5 of 10 from the field, 3 of 4 from 3 points, 7 total rebounds and 1 turnover. But 2 guys, the dynamic duo that we predicted in the pregame, Elijah Voss, Chase Henderson, are really showing what they can do offensively for the Huskies. Both inside and outside game have been 2 very impressive individuals.
Now keep in mind, Hoover does not have a deep bench. They'll bring in Ramir Talbert, number 5. And Javelle Johnson, number 21. And they may go as deep as Trayvon Phillips, number 30. But they go about a 7-player rotation. They've been doing that. So Dowling's going to, they've got 8 players already in the rotation for the Maroons. I don't know if he made a sub here, but when Jack Odie comes in, that'll be the 9th player. So we'll see if that has any effect. Dowling with the ball. Cataldo with it, left wing. Top of the key to Sheck. Man-to-man by Hoover. Here's Morrow with it. Skip pass in the corner to Cataldo. Corner three. Up good. Nothing but the bottom of the net for Dante Cataldo, and a great pass from Drew Morrow from the opposite wing.
Great pass by Drew. And Dante setting up in the corner. Gets a nice pick by Riddick Metten to open himself up. But really good shot.
And had his feet ready, and a nice stroke there by Dante. It's 27-24. Hoover by 3. 5 minutes to play. Second quarter, and Dowling out to the 3-2 zone here. First time we've seen that tonight, Jimmy.
Might be a good, as we mentioned, Hoover's not a great three-point shooting team except for Chase Henderson, Elijah Voss. Got to find those 2 shooters, but force anybody else.
Okay. And Malachi Johnson Basie on the baseline, and a shot good from 10 feet out. That is his first bucket of the night.
What a nice, pure, fadeaway shot by Johnson Basie.
Now here's Morrow for 3, right wing. It's no good. Offensive rebound, Dante Cataldo, and he travels with the basketball. Couldn't come down to a jump stop, but boy, he got up to. He gets that leaping ability from his mom. He could be the high jumper. He could be the high jumper on this track team. I'm going to have to talk to Coach about that. My goodness.
I remember my days at Iowa. We used to test out, and we did the vertical jump.
Yeah.
And Coach Banks looked and said, "Really, Cataldo? That's as high as you can jump." So I will admit he did not get his jumping ability from me because.
I'm going to put a good word in for him for Coach Herring, Dowling boys track coach. Defending state champs, by the way, this spring. All right, Hoover with the basketball, 29-24 Huskies. Approach the 4-minute mark. Henderson in the lane, dribble drives, kicks it out to Javelle Johnson. His three-pointer no good. Rebound Cataldo. So the first sub in there, Javel Johnson, number 21, a 6'4 senior, and misses the shot. Dowling the other way, a shot in the lane, no good. And rebound Hoover. And that is Emmanuel Fonde with the rebound. Huskies now will reset, and Dowling will stay. 2-3-2 zone, long three. Good. Chase Henderson.
He'll make you extend your zone, but continue to keep him as far away from the basket as you can and take your chances. But right now, Chase Henderson's taking advantage of everything he's getting.
13 points for Henderson. Dowling with the ball. A shot in the lane, no good. As great move that time by Riddick Metten, but he missed the layup with the left hand. The rebound out to Hoover. 32-24, Huskies by 8 with 3:15 to go here in the first half. Courtney Henderson gets up and calls out he wants a 30-second timeout. He had a set play he wanted to run. We'll keep it here. Dowling and Hoover tonight here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network. Mark Amadale alongside Jimmy Cataldo. We want to thank Ashworth Vision Clinic, the Catholic Tuition Organization, and Skeffton's Formal Wear for supporting our broadcast all season long. 3:08 to go here in the second quarter. Hoover 32, Dowling 24 in this boys contest. Huskies come in losing 2 in a row, and Huskies have lost 3 of the last 5 games. Dowling has won 3 of the last 4 games, but were beaten Friday night to snap a 3-game winning streak, beaten by Southeast Polk 69-38 at Dowling. So, Jimmy, your assessment here with the last 3 minutes of the first half.
Well, just so far, you got to find a way to slow down Chase Henderson. I mean, he's sitting at 13 points. Has shown to be able to hit the outside three-point shot and then take the ball to the basket. So the Maroons are mixing in man and zone defenses. They've gone to a man defense, find out which one works best for them to try to slow down Chase Henderson.
Dowling's in man right now. Cataldo is guarding him. Here is Abe Voss in the lane. Stops. Pull-up jumper. Good from the right elbow. Abe Voss, just as good as his brother. He'll be the leader of this team next year with everybody graduating. Abe has 7 points. And it's 34-24. The Husky lead is 10. Dowling with the ball. Here's Metten in the lane. Backs in against Fonde. Can't get the shot off. Leaves it for Clark. Back to Metten. Here's Scheck for 3. Top of the key. Off the mark. No good. And the rebound, Fonde and Hoover. Huskies running. Down court is Chase Henderson on the left side. Draws the foul on the pass to be out of bounds to Hoover. That'll be the first foul of the ball game on Dowling with 2:22 left to go in the half.
Just four total fouls right now in the game, and the officials are letting them play. But a lot of credit to the kids. I think the kids are playing. Both sides are playing very clean defensively. Not a lot of body shots being taken. So well officiated game, but yet the kids are playing very, very clean.
Dowling back to the 3-2 zone. As the Huskies now with the brand new shot clock. We'll wait and see. They get it to Voss. This is Abe Voss in the baseline. Stopped by Jack Odie, who's now in there for Dowling. Long 3 up and no good. And as the rim's out, missed shot by Eliza Voss of Hoover. Rebound Dowling. Here's Scheck in the lane. His shot up, no good. He drew the foul. This might be on Elijah Voss, and if so, that'll be his second foul. And it is. So that'll be the 14th foul on the Huskies. And Courtney Henderson. Leave him in with 2 or do a Fran McCaffrey and take him out with 2?
You got to hope that Chase plays smart in his game and understand that he's playing with 2. Don't get 3.
You mean Voss.
Or Voss, excuse me. But, I was looking at some of the stats for the Maroons on the year. Free throw attempts right now, the Maroons are ranked 44th out of 48 teams in Class 4A in free throw attempts, just 157. Each individual Maroon is averaging less than 2 free throws a game. So something that to take advantage of is what Scheck did. Take the ball to the basket, get to the foul line, and get some points in that spot.
Davis Scheck, 2 for 2 at the free throw line in that last possession after he was fouled by Voss. And now Hoover the other way, and a 3-pointer up and good by Abe Voss. So he matches his brother with a pair of 3s here in the first half. Abe Voss with 10 points. And it's 37-26, Hoover by 11. And now a 3-pointer by Dowling, up and good from the top of the key. And that's Riddick Metten with his 6th 3 of the year.
Watching Riddick shoot a little bit during pregame. Felt really comfortable shooting a lot of those 3-pointers in the warm-ups, hitting several of them. So he's comfortable enough to hit those shots.
As Coach Swaim and I mentioned the other night, some of these kids, it's only like their 15th varsity game, and Metten and Kleppe for Dowling, that is certainly the case. And not so much for Davis Scheck, Joey Capola, and Drew Marl. They were on the varsity last year as starters. But Kleppe and Metten This is their 15th, 16th game right now.
Yeah, it's so true, and you hope your team grows as they continue to go.
Now, Hoover guilty of a traveling call. Dowling takes the ball down. 3-pointer by Coppola, no good. And rebound, Chase Henderson. And we're under a minute to play. 45 seconds to go in the first half. 37-29. Huskies with the lead. Hoover is led by as many as 11. Dowling's lead was 2 early in the contest. Dowling staying 3-2 zone. Here is Abe Voss with it. Pull-up jumper, right elbow, no good. Fight for the rebound. Fonde takes it away, and his shot up and good. The basket will count. And a foul on Dowling, and Fonde to the free throw line. That's his second field goal of the night. And Metten picks up the foul, his first.
Metten giving up the offensive rebound. Just got to find his body into his man, and Fonde just had the better advantage there. Got the loose rebound and put it back up, drawing the foul.
So Emmanuel Fonde, a 6'4 senior, has an opportunity here for an and one. Left-hander eyes the basket, and his free throw's no good. Rebound, saved from going out of bounds. Not necessarily. Malachi Johnson saved it, but he stepped on the baseline when he did it. Shot clock is turned off. Dowling basketball for the final 26 seconds of the first half. And Hoover was thinking about doing a little full court press, and they're not going to do it now. And as they inbound it, Coppola inbounds it to Kleppe. And Henderson will deny Coppola the ball as Kleppe has it with 17 remaining. 17 seconds remaining in the first half. 39-29. The Hoover lead is 10 here at the Hoover Gym. First time these teams have played in about 3 years, back to 2020. Here's Nyanji with it. Down the lane he goes and draws the foul. Basket goes in, but they're going to say the foul happened before the shot. And they're going to get Fonde with the foul. That's his second.
His second gets the runs under the basket, inbounds with 2.8 left to run a little play here.
All right, the inbound the ball. Here's Morrow on the baseline. Teardrop shot is up and good. Drew Morrow shoots and scores at the horn. And we go to halftime with Hoover leading 39-31 over Dowling Catholic. Got the wrong score up. Put the wrong score. They'll get that all figured out. But Jimmy Cataldo, the Maroons get that shot by Morrow on the baseline. A little 5-foot teardrop without the rim.
It's a great end to a first half that was really challenging for the Maroons, giving up almost 40 points in one half. But give it up to Hoover. Chase Henderson and the Voss brothers, Elijah and Abe, have been really shooting lights out here and it's caused a huge problem right now for the Maroons defense. Got to find a way to slow those three down, and hopefully the guy that just walked up, has something to give us and enlighten us with his wisdom on how he is going to slow down the three guys.
Well, we took him away from the locker room, him and his clipboard, Jimmy. He goes to the locker room with the varsity, even though he's the head freshman coach. He's been there 22 years here at Dowling, and that is Kevin O'Hare, who's going to join us here at halftime. But we'll get our statistics taken care of. And let's take a 2-minute break, Jennifer. 2-minute break here at halftime with Hoover leading Dowling 39-31. And they did get the scoreboard fixed and corrected. It is 39-31. Hoover with the lead. We'll return with the 22-year head freshman basketball coach at Dowling Catholic, and that is Kevin O'Hare alongside Jimmy Cataldo, Mark Amadale. Back to the Hoover Gym after this 2-minute break on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Encounter Jesus and local Catholics daily. Tune in to Iowa Catholic Radio's broadcast of the Daily Mass from St. Francis of Assisi Parish in West Des Moines, weekday mornings at 10:30, or listen anytime with the Iowa Catholic Radio mobile app.
The Catholic Tuition Organization provides tuition assistance for families to send their kids to our Catholic schools and 65% Iowa tax credits for you. Give to ctoiowa.org.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Skeffington's Formalware, in business since 1951, with locations in Des Moines, West Des Moines, Coralville, and Ankeny. Skeffington's Formalware, fitting you for life celebrations. Online at skeffingtons.com.
Iowa Catholic Radio, connecting listeners to Christ every day with people like you.
Hi, I'm Ginger Arnold from St. John the Baptist Catholic Church in Rapid City, Illinois. Thanks for listening to Iowa Catholic Radio.
Did you know you have a choice in your child's education? Smaller class sizes, dedicated teachers, a sense of community, and a caring learning environment, whether it's in the classroom or at home. Diocese of Des Moines Catholic Schools deliver the best value in education, and we offer tuition assistance to help you afford it. Learn more about how the Catholic schools in the Des Moines Diocese might be the right choice for your child. Visit dmdiocese.org/schools.
Hi, this is Matt Wilkham from Iowa Catholic Radio with another testimonial, this time from Whitney, who says, "When I started listening to Iowa Catholic Radio, I started hearing about all of the different resources. It was amazing, and it opened up the state and the community." For Whitney and so many others, Iowa Catholic Radio is truly a lifeline. Our on-air fundraiser starts February 27th, but you don't have to wait to give. Donate now at iowacatholicradio.com. Thank you.
And we're back here at the Hoover Gym alongside Jimmy Cataldo, Mark Amadale, a halftime of the boys contest. And it's Hoover leading Dowling Catholic 39-31. And now we're joined by the freshman boys basketball coach at Dowling Catholic High School in his 22nd year. Got career win number 342. Is that right? I'm sure you'll set it straight, but I've been trying. Your record's 12-2?
13-2.
13-2.
Career win 346.
346.
He's almost eligible for pension.
Jimmy told me I'd won 346. That's the only reason I know.
You just take whatever he says as gospel.
Right.
Coach O'Hare, thanks for joining us. Thanks for all you do. This is a guy who's, Jimmy, he coaches freshman basketball, not only the A, but also the B, him and Coach Hetherington. And then he comes out on the varsity and sits on the bench if he doesn't get enough grief. What a night he puts in. And this is the guy, the baller, Kevin O'Hare. Kevin, how you doing?
I'm great. Thanks for having me. I wish we were up 8 instead of down 8 right now.
Well, I took one extra coach out of the locker room tonight because I know you're sitting there with Coach Steelking, but I think Coach Nicholson and Nahas can figure out how to come back. I saw Southeast Polk do this Thursday night. They got down at halftime and came back on these guys. So just FYI there, that's my insight. That's all I got.
Well, hopefully we come out with some urgency. They obviously shot the ball really well. I can't imagine they shoot like that again, but I've been wrong before.
Well, I don't know if our stats are right. We're going to find out when Jimmy gives us those. I mean, they're got to be close. But let's talk about your freshman group. You're off to a nice start. You said you're 13-2 this year on the A team. The B team is undefeated. And is it just you and Coach Hetherington? That's it? You and Todd?
It's just us. And, Coach Hetherington has been fantastic as usual. That group is 12-0, playing really well. 18, 13-2. Stubbed our toe a couple times, but rebounded since then. And it's a really good class, really good group, and super competitive and a lot of fun to be around.
Well, that's important. Got any size in that group? Because I keep saying about our varsity roster, it looks like we have 15 guys dressed and 13 of them are guards, like you were back in your day when you used to call your games. And then we have maybe 2 post players. Nyanji's back tonight, and maybe one other. But we got a smaller group. Good guys, but you can't play 5 guards in this league, as you know.
No, there's a lot of women out there that chose the wrong partner when it comes to size for our kids, but that's neither here nor there. Freshman group, not a ton of size, but our guards, I would say, are bigger or longer. We have a lot of 6', 6'1" guards. We also have a lot of 6'2" posts. So not a ton of size from the inside standpoint, but our guards and our wings are long and athletic, so that's good to have.
But just talk about the program in general. When, as you mentioned, when you look all the way down to the freshmen, all the way through to the seniors, size becomes an issue. But you show up every Tuesday and Friday night. Nobody really cares how tall you are. But as a program, what are you guys trying to do to implement to take advantage of maybe the lack of size, but to utilize that as an advantage to you?
Yeah, so we run a lot of continuous stuff in our offense with a lot of screening, down screening and back screening. So keeping our guards moving at all times is really important. Look for some mismatches. I think we have a couple opportunities tonight that we need to exploit a little bit more on our end, but just having constant movement from our guards to make it really tough for guys to guard. Hoover's they're 7 deep, and they got a couple guys with 2 fouls here, a couple of their better players. If we can get them in some mismatch pick and rolls or pick up some early fouls on them, I think that's big for us.
You know, Kevin, Coach Henderson told me that Hoover's had problem guarding people, and that they've always been one of the top defensive teams around Central Iowa, especially when the CIML was together. Now we have different conferences, but this team's been giving up, right around 58 points a game, and that's just not unlike him. When I look down here, Hoover outscores us 20-17 in that second quarter, and Hoover outscored Dowling 19-14. So the Maroons have given up almost 20 points the first two quarters against this Hoover team, and I'm looking, it's like, I think both teams are struggling to find their identity defensively before you can find the offensive answers.
Yeah, I think, Hoover is traditionally known to be defense. I think the shot clock implementation this year changes that up a little bit for them. The ball gets going up and down more. There's not as much, late game situation throughout the quarters of the games. But, yeah, we've struggled defensively here in the last couple games. If we score 31 points at half, that's not bad. And, puts you on pace for 62. We've got to keep our opponents at 30 at half at the most. And obviously Hoover has come out firing on all cylinders with 39 at half.
You guys just seem to always find or run into those teams who get really, really hot at the beginning of the game. You've seen that in Valley. You've seen that in the Ankeny Centennial. You saw that in Southeast Polk the other night. You're seeing that again tonight at Hoover. So what are you guys talking about at halftime to really try to work on keeping these teams to a low percentage shot and take advantage of misses as this game continues on?
Well, I think a lot of that has to do with what we do. I think we're rushing some shots. We're taking some threes with 10 seconds into the shot clock and stuff like that, and not a lot of guys touching the ball or even in position for an offensive rebound. So those quick shots, if they don't go in, it's a bad shot. So, again, I think we got to move the ball more. We got to use a little clock to get the right shot, get the right people taking the right shot. Look for mismatches, things along those lines, because when we take those quick shots, the other team comes down in transition, and it's not good.
We're at halftime here at the Hoover Gym. Mark Amadale, Jimmy Cataldo visiting with our guest, the head freshman coach at Dowling Catholic High School, the boys coach. That's Kevin O'Hare in his 22nd year. And anything else you want to throw out there? I mean, there's going to be some freshman kids and parents listening. Coach O'Hare didn't mention my kid tonight. Well, there's, 25 of them? Is that what you kept this year? That's a lot to get in.
We've got a lot of great kids, a lot of great managers that I would love to mention, but with 31 seconds on the clock right now, I can't. Just know that I'm thinking all about you. So the 4 listeners that Amadeo has right now, I mean, they're not going to be able to hear every name, but God bless them all. I love them all.
Well, as I affectionately call you, Carolina, I guess Carolina and Duke played over the weekend in men's college basketball. I being the big Duke fan, him being the Carolina fan with my son. And did we ever find out the score? Because nobody's watching that anymore.
It's coming up this Saturday.
Oh, it's this Saturday.
Yep.
Oh, then the hype is going to start tonight.
Yeah.
All right. Kevin, thanks. Get back on that bench. Keep that clipboard accurate, all right? Better
Thanks
than the guy next to me.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Kevin O'Hare, the Dowling boys assistant basketball coach, head freshman coach. We'll take a 1-minute break and return to the Hoover Gym. Halftime score. It is Hoover 39, Dowling 31. We'll be back here on Iowa Catholic Radio.
Has anyone ever told you to pray about it and left you thinking, okay, but how? First, invite the Holy Spirit to be with you as you talk to God. Think about what is going on in your heart and mind. Be honest. Acknowledge to God what you're thinking, feeling, and desiring, because He wants you, the real you. Then, tell Him about what you're experiencing and entrust that to Him. Finally, let the Father love us. Ask yourself, how is God loving me right now? He is loving always. Sometimes we need to stop and think of our blessings, because that is where we can find God.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio comes from businesses and organizations who share in the mission of connecting listeners to Christ while connecting you to their products and services they provide. To learn more and support the businesses and organizations who support the Iowa Catholic Radio Network, visit iowacatholicradio.com to view our business sponsors. If you would like more information on how your business or organization can become a business sponsor, contact Deacon Mark 515-223-1150, 515-223-1150.
Listener-supported Iowa Catholic Radio, 1150 AM KWKY Des Moines, 94.5 FM K233BT Des Moines, 88.5 FM KIHS Adel. Online anytime at iowacatholicradio.com.
And welcome back to the Hoover Gym here in the third quarter underway. 41-31 is our score. Hoover with the lead over Dowling Catholic. Huskies with the basketball. And they draw a foul, and that foul will be on Davis Scheck, his second. Mark Amadale, Jimmy Cataldo. We'll get you our first half statistics and scoring when we get a moment here. As Hoover with the basketball, leading by 10 as They outscored Dowling 20-17 in that second quarter after outscoring Dowling 19-14 in the first quarter, Jimmy.
Started the second half of getting the ball down low to Fondane, who converted the two, and then Dowling misses their opportunity at the base with Metten, and now back with Hoover, and a shot miss attempt by one of the few by Elijah Voss.
Voss with a miss. Dowling with the ball underneath. Drew Marl. His shot up too strong, no good. And the rebound Hoover and Elijah Voss. Huskies get run the other way. Here's Chase Henderson, guarded by Kleppe in this third quarter. 41-31, 6 minutes to play. Henderson dribble drive underneath. Gets it to Fondé, kicks it back out to Johnson Bassey. It's stolen away by Dowling. Nice steal that time by Metten. Down court underneath to Kleppe, reverse layup, good. Kleppe beat Fondé to the basket and scored.
Great look by Coppola, actually finding Davis Sheck cutting hard to the basket. But a half-court bounce pass to Sheck with the reverse layup. Great job by Coppola on the assist, and then Sheck converting the two.
Sheck with his fourth point. And now the other way, Fondé. His shot in the lane is no good, actually partially blocked, but a foul on Dowling and free throws coming for the Huskies. And Jimmy, got our first half statistics here.
First half, Maroons 7 of 15 from the field, 46%. 5 of 10 from three, 10 total rebounds and 3 turnovers for the hot shooting Hoover. Huskies 9 of 15 from the field, 60%. 7 of 10 from three, 13 total rebounds and 3 turnovers.
All right, Emmanuel Fondé at the free throw line. The left-hander misses the first free throw. Scoring for Dowling in the first half, Drew Morrow with 10 points. Riddick Metten with 7. 4 points for Joey Coppola. 3 points each for Ryan Kleppe and for Dante Cataldo off the bench. Davis Sheck with 2 at halftime. He now has 4 as the second free throw by Fondé is good. And then rounding out scoring for Dowling, Andrew Nyanji off the bench with 2 points. And the Maroons were 2 of 2 at the free throw line. Hoover with 3 players in double figures in that first half. And now Sheck in the lane has the ball stolen away by Abe Voss. Huskies with the turnover and basketball, and they lead 42-33 over Dowling. Hoover's largest lead has been 11 points back in the first half. Dowling's largest lead in the first half was 2 points. Huskies have it. Dowling stays man-to-man. Here's Henderson, double team. In the lane, gets the ball in the corner to Johnson Bassey, and his three-pointer is good. That's his 5th point. And dribble drive by Henderson. He drew 2 people towards him, and Bassey was open. Johnson Bassey was open there, Jimmy.
You know what, Johnson Bassey is not the type of kid that you'd expect to beat you, but Morrow coming back, hitting a 3 is big, just at least to keep the lead to 9 by Hoover. But Maroon's got to find some stops here on defense, which they're struggling to find at 45 total points for Hoover. That's a lot.
I got Morrow for 13, but underneath, Chase Henderson shoots and scores. That is his 15th point. He led Hoover in scoring the first half with 13, now has 15. 10 points each for Elijah Voss and Abe Voss for Hoover. Malachi Johnson Bassey had 2 points at halftime, now has 5 points. Emmanuel Fondé with 6 points. Hoover was 0 for 1 in the first half at the free throw line, and now both teams trade possessions. Dowling the other way. Shot by Drew Morrow, no good. Might have been partially blocked by Chase Henderson, and the rebound comes out to Abe Voss. Maroons had an opportunity there and couldn't finish.
Yeah, we talked about the officiating. I think was very clean the first half, but Morrow looked to get a lot of hand on the layup and nothing called. Frustrating.
Huskies with it, and in the lane, Abe Voss, his shot up, missed everything. He jump stopped and he let up on the basketball. Maroons save it from going out of bounds. Dowling with the ball, and now they draw the foul underneath. Our officials, Johnny Getting, Dave Rittman, and Tyler Wellendorf. And they're going to whistle a foul on Hoover before the shot. This will be on Abe Voss, his first. Team foul number 1 on Hoover here in the second half. Dowling with 2 team fouls. The substitutions now for the Huskies. Javell Johnson, number 21, checking in. He'll replace Emmanuel Fondé. And also checking out is Abe Voss for the Huskies. And checking in will be Ramir Talbert. And now Dowling with the basket. Drew Morrow with his 4th 3. And he's got 16 points. And it's 47-39. The Hoover lead is 8. 3 minutes to play here in the third quarter from the Hoover gym. Here's Chase Henderson with it. Dowling staying man-to-man. We haven't seen the 3-2 zone here in the second half by the Maroons. We did earlier in the first half. Huskies with it. This is Elijah Voss spins. His shot up, no good. Rebound Dowling. And Colin Clark. Clark's pass thrown away by Henderson. Chase all the way down. And we got a whistle and a foul on Colin Clark. Henderson hits the deck.
I think
he'll go to the free throw line.
A jump ball.
Our officials think that he got more body, probably more arm. So Colin Clark picks up the foul, his first. And Henderson to the free throw line for the first time tonight. He has 15 points. 2:41 remaining, 47-39 Hoover. Henderson's first free throw good. He's a 74% free throw shooter on the year. Tonight's game on Iowa Catholic Radio brought to you in part by Skeffington's Formal Wear, Catholic Tuition Organization, and Mercy One, as Ryan Kleppe on the bench for Dowling and Dante Cataldo checking in. Second free throw by Chase Henderson is no good. Rolls off the rim. Rebound Dowling. Huskies 2 of 4 at the free throw line here in the second half. They're 2 of 5 for the game. 2:30 remaining in the third quarter. 48-39 Hoover. Here's Metten with it. Gives it to Marl, top of the key for three. Good. He went right over Elijah Voss. And Drew Marl with his 5th three of the game, his 3rd of the third quarter.
Drew's finding his stroke and something that he's going to continue to try to find an open pick. Hopefully the Maroons find an opening to get him open in the three-point arc.
48-42, and now a long three by the Huskies. It's no good from the top of the key right wing, and that's Malachi Johnson-Bassey. Dowling the other way. They tried the entry pass, and it's stolen away by Hoover. And that's Ramir Talbert with the steal. Number 5, Talbert, a 5'9" senior. He's one of 9 seniors on the team. Now here's Henderson with the basketball. Minute 40 to go here in the third quarter.
Maroons are picking up their defensive intensity.
Henderson for 3. It's in and out, no good. Metten with the rebound. Dowling the other way with a minute and a half to go. Here's Capola for 3. Up and no good. And the rebound, Hoover and Ramir Talbert.
It's one of those early shots that Coach O'Hara talked about.
At
halftime. It's a dead shot if we shoot it within 10 seconds of the 35-second clock.
And we got a full timeout. We'll take it with the group. A timeout called by Hoover with a minute 20 to go here in the third quarter. 48-42. Hoover leads Dowling in this boys contest. And we'll return to the Hoover Gym in 1 minute on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Enhance your prayer life, one song at a time. Enjoy sacred music wherever and whenever you want. Available now at iowacatholicradio.com, your Alexa device, or download the Iowa Catholic Radio mobile app from Google Play or the App Store.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Ashworth Vision Clinic. Complete eye exams, contact lenses, glasses, glaucoma testing, and urgent eye issues. 515-440-4610. ashworthvision.com.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Construction Professionals. Construction Professionals does remodeling and new construction. Construction Professionals is a Catholic family business built on a strong foundation. CPCustomHomes.com. Thank you, Construction Professionals, for supporting Iowa Catholic Radio.
Iowa Catholic Radio, connecting listeners to Christ every day with people like you.
Hi, this is Joe Paul Peter from St. Francis of Assisi Parish in West Des Moines. Thanks for listening to Iowa Catholic Radio.
And we're back here at the Hoover Gym out of the Husky timeout. Hoover with 3 timeouts remaining. Dowling has 3 timeouts remaining. And 65 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Hoover boys leading Dowling 48-42. 6 on the shot clock. Huskies with it. Henderson on the baseline, guarded by Capola. Launches a 3, and it hits the side of the backboard in the shot clock violation. And it'll be Dowling basketball here, Jimmy.
Dowling is so close right now. Being down 6, but their defense is greatly intensified, looking for good shots and continue to chip into this lead.
See how much they've worn Hoover down. Huskies have went to predominantly a 6-player rotation. They have used 7, and now foul on Henderson, and Chase has picked up his second foul as Capola made a move to the baseline. For Dowling, it's Capola, Clark, Bianchi in the lineup, Drew Marl, and Dante Cataldo. Drew Marl with 10 points at halftime. He now has 19 points because he's hit 3 threes here in the third quarter. Here's Cataldo for 3. Up and off the back iron, no good. Fight for the rebound. And we got a whistle And we got a foul. It'll be Dowling basketball. Good hustle by Dante Cataldo. He hit it off of Javel Johnson on the baseline there, Malachi Johnson Bassie. Dante saved it off his foot is what happened.
I think that's exactly what they called.
What hustle. He didn't have his shoulder pads on or anything. He might have a little floor burn. Dad will take care of that tonight, I hope. Right on his shoulder. Dowling will inbound the ball with 30 seconds left to go in the third quarter. Here's Nyanji in the lane. His shot no good. Cataldo offensive rebound. He got above. Emmanuel Fonde, a long three. Up good! That is Joey Coppola with the three, and that might be Dowling's best basketball right there. 48-45 Hoover with 15 seconds to go in the third quarter.
Great job by Dante to get to the offensive rebound, really attacking the board. Coppola hitting it.
And now whistling the foul on Clark as he was defending Chase Henderson.
Not a bad foul by Colin. You really want to slow down Chase once he gets started at the top of the key because anything happens on the kick out. So not a bad foul.
Clark's second foul. Team foul number 4 on Dowling. Hoover with 2. 5 seconds to go. And we got something going on with the scorers table here, I believe. Officials going to get together.
Saw something on the clock, maybe not starting on the inbounds.
If they do, they're going to just redo this and try to put great group of officials here. Johnny Getting, Dave Rittman, who is basically the crew chief, and Tyler Wellendorf. And 5.2 seconds to go. Hoover will 5.8. 5.8, that's what they did. Yeah. And they Malachi Johnson Bassie inbounds the ball. And whistle and a foul on Dowling. They're going to get it on Drew Morrow. So Drew. And that'll be foul number 2 on Drew. Dowling with 5 team fouls. This is not good going into the fourth quarter. Johnson Bassie inbounds the ball. Gets it to Abe Voss. 2 on the shot clock. Half-court shot is up and no good. And we go to the fourth quarter with Hoover leading Dowling 48-45 here at the Hoover Gym in this boys contest alongside Jimmy Cataldo. I'm Mark Amadale. We'll return with the fourth quarter in 1 minute here on the Iowa Catholic Radio Network.
Bring the Eucharistic revival to your parish with Iowa Catholic Radio's Eucharistic Miracles of the World banner display. The work of future Saint Blessed Carlo Acutis, this beautiful display will educate and inspire. Learn more at iowacatholicradio.com.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Dental Associates, addressing your smile needs and dreams. 515-225-6742. Des Moines-DentalAssociates.com. Thank you, Dental Associates, for your support of Iowa Catholic Radio. Support for Iowa Catholic Radio comes from Mercy One, your expert circle of personalized care for all your health needs. With more care locations than anyone, your best life is their one purpose. Find your doctor at mercyone.org.
Iowa Catholic Radio, connecting listeners to Christ every day with people like you.
Hi, this is Erica Schaefer from St. Augustine's in Des Moines. Thanks for listening to Iowa Catholic Radio.
And we're back here at the Hoover Gym. Fourth quarter underway. Dowling with the first possession, and the Maroons throw the ball away as Colin Clark's pass to Dante Cataldo goes right into the Dowling bench in front of them. And it'll be Hoover basketball. Huskies going right to left towards the west basket here at the Hoover Gym as we sit about 10, 15 rows behind the scorer's table in the midst of the fans. Tell the dentist to sit down, would you, Mr. Dr. Gradival? I mean, a lot of hobnobbing up here, Jimmy. And now Hoover with a three-pointer by Chase Henderson, no good. Ball slapped around. Cataldo with the rebound after Marr slapped it to him. Dowling in transition. Here's Drew with it. 48-45 Hoover. Marr, long three, up and off the back iron, no good. Cataldo offensive rebound. Brand new shot clock for Dowling. Here's Coppola with it. Coppola, Marr, Cataldo, the three guards with Riddick Metten. Metten down the lane. Shot with the right hand, too strong, no good. Defended well that time by Hoover's Emmanuel Fonde, and now ball loose on the floor. It'll be Dowling basketball.
You're seeing a lot of great things out of Dante attacking the offensive rebounds. He kept the ball alive there on that second attempt and forced Hoover into a travel. So, things that I preach at home are finally paying off, Mark.
That hurt. Hit me on the arm like that. 48-45. Huskies with the lead. Dowling with the ball. Brand new shot clock. Here's Marl. No ball screen. Drew with it at the free throw line. Leaves it for Metten. He takes Fonde to the basket on the right block. Can't get the shot off. Good defense by Emmanuel Fonde of Hoover. 10 on the shot clock. Here's Clark with it, and there's a foul right there on Elijah Voss, his third.
Wow, a lot of body on that possession. I thought Riddick was getting a lot of body by Fonde at the lower block. Nothing called, but Colin bringing the ball across the court, gets that body call. 3 total team fouls now for Hoover for the second half.
And 5 on Dowling. Metten down the lane. His shot with the right hand, good. And the basket will count. A foul on Fonde of Hoover. Riddick Metten with the and one here, potential. He has 9 points, and the foul on Emmanuel Fonde is his third. 14 foul. And we got to look at some of the numbers through 3 quarters there, Jimmy.
The Maroons 8 of 21 from the field, 9 of 16 from 3, 18 rebounds, 6 turnovers. Hoover 11 of 21 from the field, 52%, 8 of 15 from 3, 19 rebounds, 6 turnovers.
Free throw no good by Metten, and it's a 1-point Hoover lead, 48-47. Hoover over Dowling. 6.5 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter from the Hoover gym. Huskies have it. They go right to left towards the west basket, wearing their home white uniforms, gold trim, green numbers. Underneath Fonde, no look pass underneath the Henderson layup, good. Tremendous pass by Fonde as he was double teamed, and he found Henderson.
Yeah, in our game, and somebody who's been very quiet for Hoover right now has been Elijah Voss. But Henderson continues to put this team on his shoulders.
Voss had 10 points at halftime and still has 10 points. Does not score here in the second half. Dowling with the ball, trailing by 3. Under 6 minutes to play, fourth quarter. Riddick in the lane, guarded by Fonde. Leaves it for Cataldo, layup good, and Riddick Metten, after he was double-teamed, found Cataldo the cutter, and he shoots and scores. Dante with 5 points.
That's a great cut by Dante as Riddick's trying to body and try to find a move. Dante with his quickness cutting into the basket and getting an opening, but heads up for Riddick Metten finding him.
Here's Henderson, finds Voss in the corner. His three-pointer no good, and the rebound down. And cold shooting now all of a sudden by Hoover after Coach O'Hara mentioned that at halftime. Metten in the lane, his pull-up jumper, good. He went right into Voss and scores, and Riddick Metten with his 11th point, and all of a sudden Dowling with a 1-point lead, 51-50.
Riddick's so quick, such a mismatch for the taller guys to pull them outside, but great job by Riddick.
Now near steal by Clark. He gets it back out to Voss, over to Henderson, fakes a 3, now takes a 3, it's good, as he got Clark in the air. Chase Henderson with his 21st point. And it's 53-51, Hoover by 2 with 4:45 to go. And now whistling a foul on Malachi Johnson-Bassey. That is his first foul. And that'll be the 15th foul on Hoover. So both teams with 5 fouls each with 4:40 left to go here in the fourth quarter. Dowling will inbound the ball. Underneath, right in front of their bench to our right as we sit behind the scores table. 10 rows up here in the bleachers at Hoover High. There's Morrow. Back cut into Capola. Layup good. Morrow with the assist. And Joey Capola with the basket. That is his 9th point.
Nice setup play by Coach Steelking and the coaching staff. Finding a way to hit Capola cutting to the basket.
Now Dowling stays man-to-man. Here's Henderson with it. And 15 on the shot clock. Now, in the old Hoover teams, they would just hold the ball forever. Now, a long 3, good, right in front of the Hoover bench by Javell Johnson. That's his first 3 of the game and his 4th of the year. And now, Maroons with the basketball.
Turnover by Clark, and looking for Riddick on the post-up.
So, Hoover with the basketball. If the game was tied, big basket that time by Javell Johnson. And now Dowling with a near steal. And we've got a timeout Hoover. Good job by Chase Henderson. He got hit. He went to the floor, picked up the ball, and his dad called timeout. Smart play. And with 3:42 to go here in the fourth quarter, Hoover leading 56-53, and they're down 2 there. 2 timeouts remaining. We'll keep it here with Hoover by 3. 3:42 to go. Mark Amadale, Jimmy Cataldo, Jennifer Phelps, our studio producer. And I want to thank Mercy One Dental Associates along with Ashworth Vision Clinic and
Construction Professionals for supporting our broadcast all season long. That started way back in August, just after the State Fair with Dowling Catholic football. And here we are in close, well, a couple days we'll be in February. Hard to believe as the season progresses. This is our only broadcast this week as the Dowling girls and boys do not play the rest of the week. Dowling girls play in Sioux City on Saturday afternoon at 1:30. Dowling boys are off until next Tuesday. That'll be our next broadcast. Dowling at Waukee Northwest. Wonder where they'll put us there. Brand new facility.
I look forward to it.
It's been sold out a few times
Sure.
with some, and looking forward to being over there. It's very similar to what Johnson's gym is,
Right.
so we'll see. But it's been quite a finish here, Jimmy.
Well, the Maroons have done a great job with shot selection and just got to maintain, reduce the turnovers.
And Dowling is trailed by as many as 11. Now here's Elijah Voss with it. Second leading scorer for Hoover. Drive it against Cataldo. Spins. Ball poked away and stolen away by Capola, and he draws the foul in the backcourt, and that'll be on Voss. That'll be Elijah Voss with his fourth.
Great help defense by Joey Capola. Seeing the mismatch that Dante had with Elijah Voss, with standing at 6'4", but Capola coming around, getting the steal, and then forcing the foul.
That is a 16 foul on Hoover, so with 3:24 left to go fourth quarter, Dowling will be at the free throw line the rest of the contest. Maroons with 5 team fouls, they theoretically have a foul to give. For Dowling, it's Metten, Clark, Cataldo, Morrow, and Capola. Here's Cataldo on the baseline, guarded by Ramir Talbert. Hoover stays man-to-man. And Clark gets it out to Morrow, top of the key, 13 on the shot clock. Drew, down the lane he goes. His shot up, blocked out of bounds. It'll be off of, they say went off of Morrow as he hit the floor, apparently.
Well, Drew's, momentum takes him out of bounds, but the ball misses the backboard, comes back and hits him.
Yeah.
While he's sitting out of bounds.
56-53 Hoover, 2:50 remaining, fourth quarter. And the Huskies with the basketball as they cross the timeline. Chase Henderson, Dowling stays man-to-man. They get it to Elijah Voss. And we've got a 30-second timeout called by Hoover. We'll keep it here with 2:39 to go in the fourth quarter. 56-53 Hoover over Dowling in this boys contest. We mentioned earlier tonight other games going on as a light schedule on this Monday night. There are doubleheaders going on. Waukee Northwest at Sioux City West. And the boys game got underway at 4:30 in Sioux City. The girls game going on right now. And that's a makeup from Saturday. And they postponed it to tonight. Urbandale is at Fort Dodge in a girl-boy doubleheader. Girls only contest, Southeast Polk is at Lincoln. Boys only contest has Iowa City Liberty at Southeast Polk. And another boys game, it's Ankeny Centennial at Cedar Rapids Prairie. And over at Des Moines North, a girls only contest, number 9 Pella at number 15 North in a girls only contest. Mark Amadale and Jimmy Cataldo, and the Huskies down to one timeout here, Jim.
Well, 18 seconds left, and I'm sure they drew up a play to hopefully extend this lead and see what they could do.
On the shot clock, yeah, there is.
9.
Yeah, and they're not attacking the glass. Here is Henderson, guarded by Clark. Gets it over in the corner to Talbert. Can't get the three off, and they're going to wipe off the shot. Yeah. And it's a shot clock violation. Great defense that time by Dowling. Turnover against Hoover. So with 2 minutes and 20 seconds to go in the fourth quarter, Dowling will have the basketball, trailing by 3. Maroons have 4 timeouts remaining. Hoover has 1. All right, here is Morrow with it to Metten. They're swinging around the perimeter. Cataldo to Capola for 3. It's off the back iron, no good. And a rebound, Elijah Voss.
Great opportunity. Good look for Joey. Joey's hit some big threes over the last several games, and that's a shot that you think, hey, Joey, take it and see what you can get.
That time it hit the back iron. And now substitutions for Hoover as the ball is deflected out of bounds by Dowling. 26 on the shot clock. We'll see Emmanuel Fonde check in for Hoover, as will Abe Voss. Sitting down will be Ramir Talbert and Javale Johnson. Huskies back to the starting line. Now steal by Capola into the hands of Cataldo. Over to Clark, back to Capola. Joey with it. He's guarded by Voss. Voss at 6'4", Capola at 5'11". Maroons being very patient here. Hoover, man-to-man defense. Here's Capola with it. Dribbles down the lane. His shot up, blocked by Elijah Voss. Big block that time. And the rebound, Hoover.
A little body that they just have not called tonight, and I think they've been very consistent, the officials have, on the body, taking the ball to the basket.
When Joey shot the ball, you could tell it was blocked. Now here's Henderson in the lane. His shot up, and they're going to wipe it off. And we got a foul before the shot on Dowling. And this will be on Colin Clark, his third.
About a half a step from making that a and one opportunity for Chase Henderson, because
we've been on the score for a while. 56-53 Hoover. Minute 15 remaining. Hoover with the ball. And the foul was a non-shooting foul. That'll be the 16th foul on Dowling. And both teams will be in the bonus the rest of the way as Hoover will inbound the ball. Yes, and a brand new shot clock. Henderson tosses in to Fonde. Hands it off to Chase Henderson. Chase with the basketball in the lane. Through traffic and a charging foul on Henderson. And Chase with his third foul. And the University of Montana recruit.
Maybe Joey Coppola has been on that end of a charge in many attempts. Just a smart young kid who's not going to contest too many hard layups, but holds his body well, gets squared on the penetration, and absorbs the charge. And it's a great job by Joey Coppola.
Timeout on the floor with 65 seconds to go here in the fourth quarter. We'll keep it here. Mark Amadeo alongside Jimmy Cataldo. You know, that was a player control foul, Coach, and I don't know if you knew the rules of basketball, but back in the day that you blew a whistle, you put people at the free throw line, and it's a no matter if there's a bonus in effect, nobody shoots free throws. It's player control. So mark that into your
I've learned a lot in the years I've watched basketball. I've officiated some games where I just feel so sorry for these coaches now. I look back at it.
No, you don't.
Ran out of gymnasiums.
There's a reason why they chased you out of the gym. Can't wait.
They got to have my cousins with me.
When your son graduates, I can just see you and a couple others getting the whistle, and you might be in a game like this someday. And I'll be up here, and I'll have color guide number 20 for me, and I'll go through them like they're going out of style. And I'll say, that's that Jimmy Cataldo with maybe a Steve Morrow, and I can just see the crew, and it's like,
Joey Morrow.
Joey Morrow.
Joey and I were a crew, and you want to talk about, we officiated some of Mike Swaim's games, and those.
And Swaim chased you to the parking lot, I bet, and he should.
Swaim kept saying, "That's not a foul."
That's awesome.
Well, that's how we saw it.
Tonight's game on Iowa Catholic Radio, believe it or not, brought to you in part by Skeffington's Formal Wear, Mercy One, and Catholic Tuition Organization. Out of the timeout, Dowling with the ball, Menton to the basket. His shot up, no good. Drew the foul as he hits the ground. And he'll be going to the free throw line. Let's see. I think to get the big guy, Emmanuel Fonde with his fourth. So the Huskies have a short bench anyway as far as number of players they rotate. Metten to the line, and Riddick will shoot two. He has 11 points tonight with 53 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. First free throw, good. Tonight's game on Iowa Catholic Radio brought to you in part by Dental Associates, Ashworth Vision Clinic, and Construction Professionals. As Elijah Voss re-enters the game for Hoover, replacing Javel Johnson, who was in there. A little offense-defense.
Looks like the Maroons are doing a little offense-defense with Sheck playing the offensive side, and now Colin Clark coming in for him defensively.
Second free throw, no good. So Metten with 12 points now. 45 seconds ago, 56-54. Hoover by 2. Here's Chase Henderson, guarded by Colin Clark. Dribble handoff to Elijah Voss. Back to Henderson. Going to wind the shot clock down. This is where Hoover wouldn't shoot until you made him. Shot clock brings that into effect. Here's Henderson dribbling against Clark. 10 on the shot clock. Underneath to Fonde. Spins in the lane. Shot blocked. Blocked by Metten. Rebound Dowling and Drew Morrow. And a foul on Hoover. And free throws coming for Drew Morrow. With 20 seconds to go, a chance to tie the game.
Great job on the defensive end by Colin Clark on Chase Henderson. Colin's been such a defensive stopper.
So Elijah Voss, Chase Henderson, and Emmanuel Fonde all with 4 fouls for Hoover. And a technical foul is called on the Huskies. They're going to get Emmanuel Fonde, and he is just fouled out. he's fouled out with a technical foul. And that is not what Coach Courtney Henderson wants.
So who do you, if you're the Maroons, who do you put at the free throw line? This has been such a struggle for the Maroons through this year.
You keep Drew Marr at the line because he's going to get a 1-and-1, and he can shoot the two-set technicals, leave him there. They're going to shoot the technicals first. You knew that's how they administer this, right? I did. You remember that? So it'll be a 1-and-1 and then a two-shot technical, and you leave
and
Drew
then you
Marr
get the
up
ball
there.
back, correct? Because of the technical?
No, they're going to shoot the technical first. That takes precedence over everything. And Drew will stay there.
See, I would have done it opposite. That's why I got ran into these gymnasiums. Shoot the one that went first. No.
Did Coach Swain help you out at any time? First free throw by Marl. Good. And I have Drew that's his 20th point. The board is, I believe, is wrong. Second free throw, good. 21 points for Marl. Now they'll bring everybody back here, Coach Cataldo, for a 1-and-1. What? Or not? Free throw, good.
I think you get the 1-and-1 uncontested. I think I was right. They did the 1-on-1 first.
Uncontested? I thought they brought everybody back for the 1-on-1. Or maybe it was a two-shot.
Right.
And he misses the last one.
It's amazing when I'm right and you're wrong.
Still trying to figure that out.
They did the 1-on-1 first. Since he made the first one, they gave him the second one. Then it took it to the two-shot technical.
Then the Maroons get the ball on the side. Yeah. I see. Okay. And I'll push in the back by Hoover. Dowling with the lead, 57-56 with 19 seconds to go. Drew Morrow hits 3 of 4 free throws and a foul in the backcourt on Hoover. And that'll be on Malachi Johnson. Bassey, that's his second. And Coppola going to the free throw line for the Maroons, who has 9 points. 22 points for Drew Morrow. Coppola at the line. He's got 9. Free throw, good. Make it 10.
Big free throws here for Joey.
And it's 58-56. Dowling by 2 with 19 seconds to play. Coppola with 1 more. Free throw. Tonight's game brought to you in part by Mercy One, Dental Associates, and the Catholic Tuition Organization. Second free throw, good by Coppola. He's got 11 points. So Huskies now need a 3 to tie it. And here's Chase Henderson. And that's one thing you don't want to do is foul him while he's making a 3. Voss will shoot the 3. It's no good. Rebound Coppola, and that'll do it. 9 seconds to go, and that should do it. Dowling by 3 and will shoot a 2-shot bonus. That's the 10th team foul on Hoover here, Jimmy.
Well, they got the shot they wanted. I'm surprised they went for the 3 that early in the possession, but it's certainly the shot they wanted. Voss had a double pick, which allowed him a wide open 3-point shot. It just was too strong. Joey's there for the offensive or the defensive rebound.
JaVale Johnson replaced Emmanuel Fonde, who fouled out. First free throw by Coppola, good. He's got 12 points. And he'll have another. Second free throw, no good. Rebound Hoover, 7 seconds to play. Dowling by 4. Here's Chase Henderson. Step back 3 is up and no good. They left him unguarded. Offensive rebound Hoover, and JaVale Johnson's shot is good. And that'll do it. Dowling comes away with a road win, 60-58 over the Hoover Huskies here at the Hoover Gym. Congratulations to head coach Clay Fieldking and the Dowling Maroons as they outscore Hoover 15-10 in the fourth quarter to win it here, Jimmy. But the Maroons trailed by 11 in the first half and then just kind of chipped away at it. And finally, we go into the fourth quarter, the Maroons trailed by 3. And they outscore Hoover by 5 to win it, 60-58. Dowling's record now improves to 8-8 overall. Hoover falls to 9-6, and the Huskies now have extended their losing streak to now 3 games. As the Maroons now, they've won 4 of their last 5 games. Their only loss was Friday night when the Maroons dropped a heartbreaker to Southeast Polk, 69-38. But tonight, found a way to win it here in the second half, Jimmy.
Well, I think if you're the Maroons, you stole one here in the second half. You're down 8 at a halftime, giving up, 38 points at half. And as Coach O'Hare mentioned, he goes, I can't imagine that they're going to shoot as hot for the game as Hoover shot in the first half, and he was right. The real cold shooting by Hoover in the second half allowed the Maroons to chip away into this lead and eventually taking the lead. But all around great things out there. Colin Clark's defense, I thought on Chase Henderson was a difference maker. Elijah Voss going quiet in the second half was a huge miss for the Huskies. But then I thought Dante did a tremendous job finding offensive rebounds, looking for open players. But the Maroons finally found a way to take the ball in the basket. If you look in the fourth quarter alone, the Maroons shot 7 shots from the field. Most of them were layups and only 2 3-pointers. So the Maroons got back to something that really works for them, and that's them attacking the basket, finding the backdoor cuts, and converting.
And defending, because the Voss brothers held scoreless in the second half. You remember at halftime, 3 Hoover players all in double figures. Elijah Voss and his brother Abe, 10 points each. Chase Henderson with 13. Well, the Vosses finished with 10 points each. And Henderson finishes with 21, so he picked up 8 points in the second half. But identifying shooters.
And here's the thing, and I think Coach Thielking knows his team well, and he knows who's his better defenders, and that's Dante and Colin Clark. And so finding those two guys played most of the second half, basically for defense, but Dante found an offensive rhythm. Dante was on Voss throughout the second half, and Colin Clark on Chase Henderson. Now, by doing that, you found Sheck was sitting most of the second half, and you didn't see much of Jack Odie in the game or Andrew Nyangi, but he stuck with what was working with him and what allowed his team to chip away at this lead and finally take a hold of the lead and held it at the end.
All right, we're going to take a 2-minute break. Jennifer Phelps, our studio producer, will take a 2-minute break. We'll recap the scoring and the statistics from this contest. And it was a boys non-conference game. Dowling Catholic out of the Central Iowa Metro League and Hoover out of the Iowa Alliance Conference. And it was Dowling getting a road win here at the Hoover Gym. Final score, Dowling 60, Hoover 58. Alongside Jimmy Cataldo, I'm Mark Amadale. We'll return with our postgame show after these messages on Iowa Catholic Radio.
This is a Young Catholic Minute. Why does a loving God make us suffer? Okay, Adam and Eve, behind door number 1, perfect happiness. Door number 2, something else. Oh, we'll take door number 2. Ooh, bad choice, Adam and Eve. Behind door number 2 is not perfect happiness, which means that suffering, death, illness, and trans fat enter the world. The point is, God doesn't want us to suffer, and He doesn't make us suffer. We choose suffering anytime we turn away from Him and His plan, which, unfortunately, is a lot. And sometimes we suffer just because we live in the fallen world that Adam and Eve chose for us. But even out of suffering, God brings good by allowing us to choose Him again. If God were to say, hey there, everything will be just dandy if you follow me, are we really choosing God because we love Him? Or could the dandyhood factor be tipping the scales a bit? We can be sure we're truly following God when we choose to follow Him even through suffering, not just when it's easy. For more, go to youtube.com/youngcatholic.
Thought of the Day with Monsignor Frank Bignano is now in a book, 3 Minutes with God, filled with daily reflections and prayers. 3 Minutes with God, available at Divine Treasures Bookstore, Franciscan Media, Amazon, and Barnes & Noble. A message from Iowa Catholic Radio.
The Catholic Tuition Organization provides tuition assistance for families to send their kids to our Catholic schools and 65% Iowa tax credits for you. Give to ctoiowa.org.
Support for Iowa Catholic Radio is provided by Skeffington's Formal Wear, in business since 1951, with locations in Des Moines, West Des Moines, Coralville, and Ankeny. Skeffington's Formal Wear, fitting you for life celebrations. Online at skeffingtons.com.
Iowa Catholic Radio, connecting listeners to Christ every day with people like you.
Hello, this is Father William Felix from the Diocese of La Crosse. Thanks for listening to Iowa Catholic Radio.
And welcome back to the Hoover High School Gym. Alongside Jimmy Cataldo, Mark Amadale. Final score in our boys contest tonight. Dowling Catholic defeating Hoover 60-58. The Maroons improved their record to 8-8 overall, while Hoover falls to 9-6. And now the Huskies have lost 3 in a row in 4 of their last 6 games. Dowling has now won 4 of their last 5 ball games. And Jimmy, we've got to look at some of the numbers tonight. some of the things I like. The Maroons playing defense in the second half. They give up just 18 points to Hoover in the second half after giving up almost 40 points at halftime. So that defensive presence, they got it figured out, especially with this hot shooting team and Elijah Voss and Chase Henderson. They were able to take those two 1,000-point scores and kind of neutralize them in the second half.
Well, the shooting percentages for both teams were just off the chart when you look at their season averages. I think the Maroons played tremendous defense in forcing 8 turnovers in the second half by Hoover. But let's go through the numbers for the team stats. The Maroons shot 12 of 28 from the field, 42%, and then 9 of 18 for 50%, which is almost double their output through the season. I had the Maroons for 23 total rebounds and 8 turnovers. For Hoover goes 13 of 24 from the field, 54%, 10 of 21 from 3, 47%, 24 total rebounds, and 11 turnovers. And as I mentioned, 7 of those turnovers came in or 8 of those turnovers came in the second half alone. So the Maroons really buckled in and had an understanding at halftime what they had to do. Came out, played tremendous defense on Voss, both the Vosses, Elijah and Abe, but did a great job on neutralizing the best they could with Chase Henderson. But then Drew Marr coming out shooting lights out and had some streaky shooting at times. Joey Coppola hitting a big 3. I thought Dante had huge contributions on the offensive rebound, and then everybody finding their next pass. And Riddick Metten did a great job using his athleticism and his speed against the slower Hoover big guys to be able to get to the basket and convert.
All right, let's take a look at the scoring in tonight's contest. Dowling had 3 players in double figures, so we'll start with the visitors from Dowling Catholic. They were led by Drew Morrow. As you mentioned, he had 10 points at halftime, finished with 22, as Drew hit 5 3-pointers and went 3 of 4 in the fourth quarter at the free throw line to lead the way for Dowling. Again, 22 points for Drew Morrow, 12 points each for Joey Coppola and for Riddick Metten, who you mentioned earlier. And then rounding out scoring for Dowling, off the bench, your son, Dante Cataldo, with 5 points and a tremendous defensive job as both Voss brothers were held scoreless in the second half. Dante with 5 points, 4 points for Davis Sheck, 3 points for Ryan Kleppe, and 2 points for Andrew Nyanji. Colin Clark and Jack Odie both got in the contest for Dowling and did not score. The Maroons at the free throw line went 9 of 13. And for Hoover, well, the 3 players we talked about at halftime in double figures ended up in double figures, obviously, led by Chase Henderson with 21 points. Chase, not a bad job from the field as he hit on 4 threes tonight. Elijah Voss and his brother Abe Voss, both with 10 points. 7 points for Emmanuel Fonde, but he fouled out within the final minute with his 5th foul. He had 7 points. Javelle Johnson off the bench with 5 points for Hoover. And then Malachi Johnson-Bassey with 5 points for the Huskies, as Hoover went 2 of 5 at the free throw line. Hoover got out to a 19-14 lead at the end of the first quarter. They outscored Dowling in the second quarter 20-17. It was 39-31 at halftime, but the Maroons knuckled down in the second half. They hold Hoover to 18 points in the second half. Dowling outscoring Hoover in the third quarter 14-8, and outscoring the Huskies 15-10 in the fourth quarter to win it by 2, 60-58.
You go back and look at a big turning point in the game was Drew Morrow gets fouled, going to the line for one-on-one, and Hoover just not controlling their emotions, gets a technical foul called against them. So now Drew has 4 free throws, makes 3 of them.
While they were in the lane, that's when the technical foul happened. The young man, Fonde, was talking, and the referee teed him because the referee came back after handing the ball off to the shooter, and he teed him because he's talking right at him, and that was his 5th foul, so he's fouled out. So go ahead, Jim.
The Maroons are down 2 at that time. Drew has 4 free throws, makes 3 of them. The Maroons come out of that up 1, and then converts on that possession. So now they're up 3 with less than a minute to go. It's just a huge turning point of the game when I thought the officiating was very well balanced, and at the end, I thought they controlled things very well. They kept it loose for both teams, and they were consistent with that. So I thought it was a great officiated game throughout.
I don't like to point out too many members of your family, but your son had an outstanding defensive presence here a couple times. One I thought you were going to lead into with kind of the turnaround, but it propelled Dowling all of a sudden they're making their comeback, and they're trying to clamp down on this Hoover offense. And Dante makes an outstanding save to save the possession. And then he had one in the game where I think he came up with the stop, and then he got the assist, or if you know what I'm talking about.
I recall two distinct instances. One when Riddick's backing into to Fondé, really trying to get his possession. Those two are the only two in the lane, and Dante cuts hard to the basket.
That's one.
Comes free, and Riddick finding him on the open pass for the layup. And then the other one is Joey Coppola, half-court bounce pass to Davis Shett, converting on a layup. It's that unselfish play that has to propel these kids to that next level. Because as we talked to at the beginning of the game and then with Coach O'Hare, there's not one guy that's going to light up this gymnasium, but they have 5 guys and more off the bench who can score the basket. And if they can become unselfish, move the ball around, cut for great shots, they're a formidable opponent that people do not want to see in the playoffs.
Yep, the sub-state pairings will be coming out here shortly. Let's take a look at the schedules for Des Moines Hoover. They play tomorrow night. They're home against Ames tomorrow night in a girl boy doubleheader here at Hoover. Friday night they travel to Des Moines East. For Dowling Catholic, well, the Maroons have 8 days off, and their next game will be our next broadcast. It'll be a girl boy doubleheader at Waukee Northwest on Tuesday, February 7th. That'll be a week from tomorrow. We'll be on the air at 6 o'clock from the Waukee Northwest School. And then they'll finish out the week in a girl boy doubleheader. Dowling will be at home on Friday, February 10th against Urbandale. And the Dowling boys will travel to Ames for a girl boy doubleheader the next day on Saturday the 11th. And then the following week at Lincoln and home against Norwalk. Norwalk, by the way, number 9 in the Class 4A poll that just came out in boys basketball. So that's how the Maroons will finish their season. But they have 8 days off here. The Dowling boys do. Dowling girls, they'll be involved in action Saturday as Dowling travels to Sioux City East, 10th ranked Sioux City East in Class 5A, 1:30. It'll be a girls-only game up in Sioux City, but we'll pick them up next Tuesday at the Northwest Gym.
And then their pairings usually come out a week before the boys, if I remember. So you would anticipate their pairings coming out in about a week from now, around February 7th or 8th.
I hope when we're back on the air on next week from Waukee Northwest next Tuesday. Hopefully we'll have some sort of pairings coming. I don't think the boys will be ready. The lower classes for the boys will, 1 and 2, but I think the girls' early classes, 1A, 2A, 3, I think are going to be released. 4A and 5A may take a while. Might be before the Urbandale game, we may know. So
but
anyway,
it's getting that time,
and
postseason is coming, and everybody's trying to jockey their spot and make a run at it.
Well, you know what? I'm getting you out of here in a pretty good shape. It's just after 7:45. I know you Iowa State fans are on the road tonight at Texas Tech. That'll be on ESPN2. They tip off at 8 o'clock and see if they can bounce back. And I know there's a lot of Iowa State fans. I know they'll be home. When I get home, they'll be on. But me being the Hawkeye fan, as you're a grad, Hawkeyes kind of grind along. So I don't know what we're going to do for 8 days. Hope, first of all, you get healthy and feel better and come back and close out the regular season with our last 2 girl-boy doubleheaders beginning next Tuesday night at Waukee Northwest.
The season's flying by.
It is. Jimmy, thank you, and get better, and welcome back.
Thank you.
All right, Jimmy Cataldo, my broadcast partner. That'll wrap things up from the Hoover Gym. Our thanks to everybody here at Hoover High School, including their athletic director, and that's Jacob Burke, Mary Culp in the athletic office, and all the folks here at Hoover High School, including their head boys basketball coach, Courtney Henderson. Our thanks to everybody at Dowling Catholic High School, Tom Wilson, the athletic director, Colleen Webb, Jared Herring, and, of course, all the folks behind the scenes at Dowling. And our thanks to all the folks here at Hoover, and they made us very hospitable, and we appreciate being here. It's been 3 years since we've been here. Our next broadcast, as I mentioned, will be next week. It'll be on next Tuesday, February 7th, a girl-boy doubleheader, Dowling at Waukee Northwest. Pregame at 6 o'clock. Girls tip off at 6:15. The boys tip off at 7:45 from Waukee Northwest High School. So hope you join us for that. Again, the final score for the final time tonight, Dowling boys with the win over Hoover, 60-58. Maroons improve their record to 8-8, while Hoover falls to 9-6. For our studio producer, Jennifer Phelps, I'm Mark Amadale, thanking you for listening tonight. And for my broadcast partner, Jimmy Cataldo, from all of us here at Iowa Catholic Radio, have a safe and blessed faith-filled week.
Our coverage of Dowling Catholic Sports is underwritten by Ashworth Vision Clinic, Construction Professionals, Dental Associates, the Catholic Tuition Organization, Mercy One, and Skeffington's Formalware. Thank you for supporting the businesses that underwrite Iowa Catholic Radio. The proceeding has been a Dowling Catholic Sports presentation on Iowa Catholic Radio.